And, I mean, I stream 2 days a week now. That's pretty good. Oh no, the lights reflect off my head.
Oh no,
Yes.
and it's all ruined.
That's awesome.
All
Looks like
ruined.
someone's
Because I
wearing a
have
hat.
them on, like, the, like, pointed downward. On the upper trim. I thought it might help light some of this stuff, which it does, actually. But it also...
I
catches on my
need
head.
I need a haircut, but I refuse to get one.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Char Shot Gamescast. Each of our week friends gather around and talk about the games that they're playing, things going on in their lives. They have with me Justin.
I had a bit to start off, and I forgot it.
You should do I'm blue, dabba dee dabba die, and then have the blue lights go off.
That's not good. Plus, it's a visual gag, and, like... Just move on.
I'm just gonna say thanks, Ghost, for following. I don't know. I'm in the middle of a stream. I'm trying to do the thing where I'm like paying attention to the stream and then also do this.
No.
No.
You are a podcaster right now.
And then we also have the marvelous one, Ben.
Listen, you son of a bitch, I can stop playing Xenoblade anytime I want. I don't have a problem. You have a problem. Shut the hell up. Sorry. Okay, what? Are we doing this? Is this a show? I'm sorry. I have hives.
You come after Justin. You can't tell people what you're playing right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Know your place.
Know your role
setting the-
and shut
I'm
your
s-
mouth.
Two white guys telling the brown guy to know his place. What
I'm
a shock.
I'm just doing a rock climb.
What? What
I'm
a
Irish.
shock.
I'm a minority.
No, you are not. Stop it. You were a minority in the 19th century, motherfucker.
We had a potato famine, thank you.
Lots of Irish people died.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
funny.
No, it's not. We're all in this
Respect.
together. Fuck cops. There you go.
Respect my potato heart.
So speaking of your potato heart, how about your potato games?
I actually haven't played in potato games, but there's stuff in my drink.
That's
Somebody's gonna
not
make that a
good.
game.
There's a lot of
Potato
There's
Simulator.
potato games out there.
I'm not gonna worry
Potato
about it.
Simulator 2021.
It feels like I haven't played much this week. I don't know where my weeks have been going. Like, quarantine sucks, man. But that's because I've been playing a bunch of Spider-Man. That's why. I ran through all of the DLC for Spider-Man for the DLC story, like season 2 of the story play, which is on the DLC. So I've finished all that. I like to just kind of get it like front loaded, so I can kind of get a sense for how long each episode's going to be and like what needs to go where. Because sometimes like you'll do a side quest that's like that story related, like vaguely, or just interesting to include, but like you want to throw it sooner with the rest of the side quest stuff, so you got to move things around, and yeah, it's just easier to do it all in advance. So I was playing a lot of Spider-Man. It's also kind of nice because like I can just record that. Like I don't have to worry about the desktop audio recording or anything because it goes through Elgato. So like I was watching Doom Patrol and playing Spider-Man, without worrying about like I can't play anything, or I can't watch anything while I'm playing this, or else the TV audio will get picked up. Because like when I'm recording stuff for a video, usually like I don't use the game audio, so it's not a big deal. But with this I do, but it's Elgato, so it's fine. So yeah, I was doing that and then editing it all together to kind of get a feel for how many episodes it's going to be and stuff. That's still a really good game, but man, the DLC is not nearly as fun. Just aside from like it not telling as good of a story, and like it's still great. Like there's some cool character stuff, it sets up the Miles Morales game. Like it's cool, but a lot of it boils down to just fighting waves of enemies, and like it's not in a fun way, because it'll be like you have there's a bunch of different enemy types, and so there's like the normal grunts that you can just like fight and combo whatever normally, and then you'll get like basically the whole thing with the DLC is Hammerhead has come to town with like all of his thugs, and they've taken the Sable Tech, and he's like boosted up all of his thugs with the different types of Sable Tech. So there's like the mini gunners that just across everything. There's the guys with like shields that you have to, swoop in from behind and take them out that way. But they also have jetpacks and can like fly at you. And then there's the actual flying guys. And like there's just all these different types that they throw at you all at once, and they all have to be fought differently. So like whereas most of the time in the game, like there's a few annoying battles in the base game, but most of the time it's more like the Arkham series type combat where, you're jumping from enemy to enemy, like kind of doing your thing. Everyone's like spread out a little bit, and you can really just enjoy like the different combat moves and stuff. Yeah, free flow. But the DLC, because they throw so many different enemy types at you and like so many enemies in general at you, it ends up being a lot of just thug gangbangs of all different types. Yeah, that was the best word I could think of. Where like
a literal gangbang.
So true. Yeah, you are getting banged by a gang. Yeah, all right. That's where that comes from. But because each different enemy type has to be fought in a different way, you don't get to really just enjoy the combat. You're like, all right, this guy, I have to like it's a big brute guy. I've got to like use a gadget on him before I can attack him. And like this other guy is flying, and he's gonna like swoop in and dive bomb me if I don't take him out quick enough. And then there's a sniper over there, and I gotta go shoot over to that sniper and take him out. But then there's this whole other group of enemies that are gonna shoot at me while I go after the sniper, and like it's exhausting. And so it's kind of hard to get footage of, because for one, it took me multiple tries to get through a lot of that stuff. So it's like piecing it together where like it flows into the scene. And then I can, cut away and just show the best bits of combat, and pretend like I did it all in one. But like whenever you die, it like basically starts you back at like the dialogue right before the battle. So like there's sometimes where it'll talk and then seamlessly go into the battle. And I'll just be standing there and immediately get bombarded. So, like, I have to use that because it's the only one that actually seams into the combat. Whereas the others, like, just start you at it. So there's nothing to, cut together with, if that makes sense. Anyway, long story short, the DLC is frustrating. And I'm excited to get back to the base game when I start streaming it this weekend. Because, like, I feel like it's just a lot better balanced and more enjoyable to play, like, and mix up your different combat stuff. But that being said, I'm going to be playing in ultimate difficulty in New Game Plus. So while you do start at like max level and like have all your abilities and stuff already, it's going to be tough, and I'm probably going to regret it. But I got to get that trophy.
That's what most hard modes do.
Well, I mean, like, there was no trophy for playing in Ultimate mode in the base game. It's just playing Ultimate in New Game Plus gets a trophy. So that's why I'm doing it. I'm not specifically saying that, like, in Ultimate you get to keep your stuff. I'm saying in New Game Plus you get to keep your stuff, and I'm playing New Game Plus in, like, the hard mode. So yeah. Aside from that, I briefly jumped into the Pokemon DLC, the first expansion, and
I'm jelly.
I did not do much with it. And I won't like spoil anything really, but there's also not much to spoil. But like I do know there's like the Battle Dojo and stuff like that. I kind of briefly saw that. Like they give you some different trials and things to do, and so like that's really all I know. But the one thing I will say is, if you liked the idea of the wild area, but thought it was poorly executed, you'll probably love this, because all it is a wild area, but it's so much better. Like everything, it's like a set of different ecosystems, kind of, and like each one, like it's like the base game where the Pokemon are just kind of wandering around and stuff. But it feels more like an ecosystem, where you can like see them kind of, you know, flying around, or like, for example, one thing I saw was an Emolga, like the little flying squirrel thing, soar across from one tree to another, just like while I was walking through the forest. It was like, that's nice. And like I went out into the water, and there was just like a gigantic Waylord, just like out in the middle of the ocean, and I thought it was like a. Sorry, the cats were fighting for a position on the bed. It was really funny. I thought it was like an event or something. Like I would, you know, go over there and trigger like a story moment or like a Moby Dick situation or something like that. But no, it just went into a random encounter. Like I was just fighting the Waylord. It was just a wild Pokemon out there, but it was gigantic, like actual size for a Waylord. They're huge, in case you didn't know. So it's that kind of thing that, like, it makes the wild area feel like a wild area and not just, you know, a big open space with terrible frame rate. So that was pretty cool. But if you don't like the wild area, like if you feel like something was missing from the new games because it was like it didn't have the cool side areas and routes and things like that, this won't probably change your opinion on that. It's still just a big wild area, with like some buildings and stuff in it. So I don't know, like it definitely seems cool, and I basically spent the whole time just exploring because I wanted to see the different areas in the wild area, and like I was way more invested in just exploring these areas than I had been in the base game, because like there's actual caves and stuff to go through. Like it felt like an open world Pokemon game at that point. Because it's like all the stuff you would normally see that's like a, you know, a route from place to place to place was just a flowing area that you go through, and like each one has a name, but like it felt like you're exploring a world, not just a plane.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Like they took care in creating this area. I didn't run into a lot of different Pokemon. I'm not totally sure which ones are new because I just don't care, honestly. But there was a good variety and a few that made me happy. But like I said, I don't know which ones I just hadn't seen before or which ones were actually new. I just caught stuff that I hadn't caught already, basically. And then there's actually stuff to do around the wild area too. I think there's a few different things, but like the one I noticed was kind of a fetch quest, like collectible situation where there's like things to like scattered all over the wild area, and there's like so many in each part of it, and you have to find all of them, and then you get like a reward for finding all of them, and that's kind of cool. Like they're hard to find. I won't say what they are, but they're hard to find because they don't, like, they kind of blend into the environment and stuff, and you can walk right over them without realizing. But it's a nice little mini game almost, and you know, it gives you a good excuse to explore everything. So that's pretty cool. And I apparently there's a pretty good reward for it too. I am not even close to finishing it. There's like 150 of them. Yeah. I mean, it's a big area, but still, they're everywhere. But yeah, like I said, I don't know too much yet. Aside from what they've shown in trailers, like I know you get one of the Gen 1 starters. I know you get.
Oh, you get to choose one of them.
I guess.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
All I know is you get one because they have like new Gigaforms.
Squirtle, you're coming home, buddy.
And then yeah, there's that new legendary that's like tied to the Battle Dojo and stuff. I saw it like looming over everything, like watching, but.
And like when you're in the overworld?
No, it hangs out in the dojo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's like, you know, in the murder mysteries where there's like the old relative kind of like peeking over the balcony at what's going on. Like he kind of does that.
Or Daniel Craig in Knives Out, basically.
Yeah, kind of.
Just
But yeah, it's really neat.
Sorry.
Like both of these DLCs, I'd argue, are worth $30. Like people are saying, it's like, oh, it's they put Pokemon behind a paywall, but they really didn't because
they've always done that, but it was worse because you would have to do the whole game all over again.
Right. But like the free update added all of those Pokemon to the Pokedex. You can transfer them from home.
Yeah.
The new wild area just actually has them catchable.
Yeah. So if you have them, you have them.
Yeah.
But if you don't, you got a whole. You can pay for the area, which is neat. Everybody wins theoretically.
Right. Yeah, I recommend it, honestly. From what I've played of it, at least. I would definitely want to get into it more. I want to actually do the Battle Dojo and stuff, but I was a little distracted because, let's see, that was Wednesday when that came out. Thursday, I started Tales of Zestiria, which is really cool, actually. I mean, it's about as anime as you can get.
I love it.
But it's a lot of fun. Like, the voice acting is extremely stilted. I think a lot of that's just because of the translation. And it's not great writing.
Oh yeah, their writing is atrocious.
Yeah. Especially, like, I talked about I was streaming it. I talked about on stream that there's, like, moments where, like, someone will say something, and then there'll be a pause. And then, like, the other character will be like, ha 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 ha, and then a pause. And then the other character will respond, and then a pause. And that kind of stuff is just so awkward because there's like no pacing
how to
to
write
it.
promos. They watched a bunch of anime.
Probably. But like there's some really nicely animated like anime cutscenes sometimes. And like I think the game actually looks really good considering it was like an early last gen thing. But the battle system is pretty cool. I'm still learning stuff from it. They kind of trickle out new features and things like that throughout. It's not quite like Final Fantasy 13 levels where you're like 30 hours in and still getting tutorials, but it's also not that. Because I feel like I should have the training wheels taken off, and still like every battle they're giving me a new tutorial screen. It's just weird. The characters are hit or miss. I think the main guy, Sori, I know it's Saray, but I refuse. It's Sori. Is pretty milquetoast. Like, he's very much generic white anime lead guy.
Typical anime bro, yeah.
Yeah. And I said this, I didn't like Tales of Berseria, but I liked its lead way more than this one.
Oh, the girl?
She was pretty cool.
She's badass.
Yeah. And I wanted something more like that. But I guess that game came after this one. I thought it came before.
Is Berseria have better writing?
No. It arguably has worse writing because it's more like a...
Good writing in a Tales game, that's rich.
Right. Well, that's the thing is, like, I heard this one had a good story.
I can't deal
with
this. Good
story doesn't mean good writing.
Yeah. That's fair.
You could have a good constructive narrative, but like the in-between sequences could be fucking awful.
True. Like, the minute-to-minute moments are bad, but it adds up to a cool narrative. Yeah. I guess that's true.
I don't think
I like
deal with Tales games if the writing is all that bad. Like, there's way better JRPGs to be playing.
I know.
Yeah.
But, like, a friend has been recommending me this one for a while, and, like, I've always kind of wanted to like the Tales series. Like, I enjoyed Symphonia back in the day.
Everybody enjoys that one.
And I wanted to like Berseria because I heard it was the most recent one, which I thought Zestiria came out after it, but that's beside the point.
Why don't you try Vesperia?
That's before, right?
It came out after Symphonia.
Yeah,
but it's an Xbox 360 game.
It was on. I think it's been ported now.
Yeah. I'm just saying for
$10 on Switch the other day, but I had already picked up Zestiria, so I didn't want to get that one too.
Well, yeah, I can,
but I'll try it eventually.
It's good.
I wanted to do this one because it's a little more modern. I thought maybe like some of the jank would be patched out or whatever, but it's pretty jank.
That run animation though.
Yeah, and the walk animation was worse somehow.
I just hate that cooking shit that they make you do in Tales games. That shit's annoying.
I don't think I've done that yet.
Like all the recipes of, I think that's like a staple in their games, where like everybody has like specific recipes that you can make, and they could give buffs. It's annoying as hell.
I mean, I've like at inns you can make things.
Yeah.
Like when you stay at the inn, you can choose a recipe, kind of like Final Fantasy 15 style.
Yeah.
But I haven't had
Tales-
like a cooking mini game or anything.
No, not a cooking mini game. Just like the whole recipes. Like you make this and this does this. I'm like, okay, whatever, motherfucker.
Gotcha. Okay, I understand now. But yeah, it's a cool game. Like, I like the battle system. There's a good variety to it. Some of the characters are cool, and like there was like a really interesting anime cutscene towards the beginning that's kind of like the anime title opener almost. Like it shows the title of the game and then like all the key characters.
Yeah, that was.
And
cool
there's some
as
really
hell.
cool. Yeah, that was awesome. There was some really cool looking characters there. So like I'm excited to meet them. But the ones I have now are kind of meh. But I don't know. I'm excited to play more of it. Like, Berseria didn't click with me because it's like a Twilight anime. It felt weird. It's just like so grimdark and stuff. So when I heard this one was more like fantasy stuff, but it's still a modern Tales game, I thought I'd try it out. And I really like the kind of the medieval, like mythological fantasy type thing it's going for with like the seraphims being kind of like your elemental spirits that you can equip to yourself to like change your abilities and fight with you. It's neat. It kind of gives me almost like a Legend of Dragoon thing where like the characters can become this other thing that's like elementally charged and gets new abilities and stuff because of that thing that they have. But anyway, aside from that, I haven't been playing it, but I've been watching a playthrough of The Last of Us Part 2 today. Because it's been my day off, so I was just kind of chilling for part of the day at least. I had to get some stuff
The
done.
discourse is real.
Again, no spoilers or anything, because it literally just came out. But that game is intense. It starts off a little more low-key than I expected, and I kind of liked it. Like, it's a nice, like, emotional experience, but when it hits hard.
Yeah.
And it rarely lets up. One thing that surprises me the most about it, though, I switched over from, like, an actual gameplay run-through, because I saw that it was, like, 20 hours compared to the 10 hours of the story run-through I found. So I switched over to just the story because it still has some gameplay and stuff in there. Some of like the back and forth while you're walking around and things like that. But it doesn't it's not a full playthrough. And when I was still doing the gameplay one thing I really noticed about the game is how open a lot of it is. Because the first game was very
when
you were going through corridors.
When I first loaded it up and I was playing it and I was like riding back to camp in that beginning area, I was like, oh damn, is this going to be like an open world game? And I don't know, kind of
it's not quite.
It's pretty disappointed that it's not at all. It's not.
It's like Uncharted. From what I've heard, it's like Uncharted 4. Like they kind of tested the open world idea in one part where you like have a Jeep or something and you're taking it around, and like there's different things you can do there. But like it's our situation with Gears of War, 5, right? Gears 5.
Yes.
It's been too long. Where there's like one section that's kind of open world and you can do things in a neat order. But I like this one more because it makes more sense. Like the first game was extremely linear to a fault almost. And any area that opened up slightly still kind of railroaded you.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't go in any of the buildings or anything.
No. Well,
very rarely.
Sometimes you could. Yeah. It depends on the section, yeah.
Because I think of like Billstown as really the main open area, and that was still mostly like the kind of explorable outside, and then a few like half-open garage doors you could go into.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it opens up later, but I've been playing it for a few hours now, maybe 3 hours or so, and it's not.
Have you gone out with Dina yet?
Yeah, I have.
Like gone out on a adventure? I mean.
Yeah, patrol. Yeah.
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 Okay.
It's still pretty closed off. It's like we can get off here and like check these houses, and it's like 3 houses out of like the 20 that's there that you can actually check.
Well, it's fair, but like it's the fact that you can miss things because like there's the main area you have to go to, Like it tells you what your objective is.
But it's not an open. It's not an open map. It's not open at all. It's just a path.
No, it is. Like, have you gotten an actual map?
No.
Oh, okay. Then you're probably not there.
Yeah.
Because, like, there are a few different areas that have, like, maps with, like, she writes on it as you go. So it's like, as you check something out, she writes what was there. And so like, that one's done. And then you can move on to the next area, and, like, that one's done. And so, like, that kind of stuff is really cool, because it makes sense in context. This is, like a tourist map, like, kind of a, like, it marks your location, but it's more of like a symbolic thing of like, do you know where we are right now? It's not like it's actually following your location on the map, and then like the characters are taking it upon themselves to mark up the map. So like you don't have, a mini map on your screen or anything. You have to pull out your map, see what you've done and what still needs to be done. And like, you'll find points of interest in different locations that will, have her write a new thing on the map that's like, check this place out. And so like that kind of stuff is really cool, because where the first game, it did feel like what you said, where there was maybe one or two houses, but you had to go through everything. This is like, you know where you have to go, and different people can go through the same area different ways.
All right,
because you might not check every building.
I'm just saying what I've played. That's all. I don't know anything else other than that.
Right. I was filling in my experience because that's what I was trying to explain when you were talking about it's not open world, but it kind of is. So yeah, that stuff's really cool. I was kind of surprised at how open it gets. Again, it's not like, Assassin's Creed or anything where it's just one big map that you explore. But, like, there's a surprising amount of more open areas than I expected.
Because then aren't you just playing Days Gone, then, if it's just an open world zombie game?
Yeah, the open maps are more like...
Nightmare when it's an open world zombie game.
Yeah, that's actually a good game, though.
What, you don't think Last of Us 2 is a good game?
No, I was saying the other one's not a good... What the other one isn't.
Oh, Days Gone. I already forgot what it was called.
Yeah.
The title was gone from your mind.
Yeah, it's been gone for days.
Undead Nightmare's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, like there's a lot to like there. Like basically everything you would have liked about the first one is expanded upon here.
In terms of gameplay.
Yeah. Because like, a lot of the first one, like the puzzles and exploration and stuff boiled down to like find a ladder to cross this gap. Or
move this get this wooden thing across the water so Ellie can step across.
Like, help old man Joel get to where he needs to go.
Do this 10 more times. Fight some stickers.
But, like, Ellie is a lot more agile. So when she's out, when she becomes the main character, you don't have to do all that stuff because she can just move.
She's a grown woman who don't need no man.
Exactly. She needs another woman. And like the story goes in really good places. Like I really like a lot of the interaction between characters and stuff like that. I still think the gameplay is actually the weakest part of the game, but that's not a bad thing. Like I'm not saying it's bad gameplay. I'm just saying everything else is so strong that I don't really care about the gameplay.
See,
that's why I switched over to a story thing.
Man.
That was the case with me with the first one.
Yeah.
Where like the gameplay is okay, it's serviceable, but it was everything around it that made it the memorable experience. And
right, like the gameplay is just, it's there to usher you to the next thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
So like I watched about 3 hours of like a full gameplay run, but it got into some of that open world stuff where it was like just long stretches of gameplay with like, again, some nice dialogue bits in the downtime. But I found myself like skipping like long sections to find the next story bit, and I'm like, I should just make this easier on myself and see if there's actual like a story playthrough. But I'm sure it's different if you're actually playing it. Like Thomas can probably attest to that.
Yeah.
But it's a game that I have no problem just watching, because I know I wouldn't play it all. Like I would get too scared, like I did with the first one. So yeah, I really liked The Last of Us 2. I just kind of wanted to report on it as a new game. but I'm not actually playing it, so I can only say so much.
Right.
I think that's pretty much it, though. I've got more Spider-Man coming this weekend, but as far as like what I've actually been playing, that's it.
Ben?
So I apologize because I said I was going to play The Outer Worlds this week. That did not happen.
That was a fucking lie.
That was a fucking lie. Yeah, it was a swerve, bro. Shout out to you, Vince Russo. Piece of shit. I played Animal Crossing for a day, and I love my neighbors. That's all I have to comment on that. I still love the game. I'm now down to twice a week, which I think is good for the long term of the game because I don't want to get burned out like I see a lot of people on Twitter. Like I don't see as nearly as many Animal Crossing pictures. I think it's because people
This
are tired
is not
of the
much
game.
to do in that game, that's all.
Yeah, which is why I'm happy with doing it twice a week on my days off, just in the mornings, where I pull the weeds, I do the things, and that's it. I'm not gonna lie, the only thing I played this week, I didn't even play Mortal Kombat this week. The only thing I played was Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. And about 70% of my playthrough was doing side quests. Like, legit. I'm not even kidding. Which is funny because I said, well, I'll do story stuff on my TV. Because, again, like I said, I never played... This is the first time I'm playing it, like, on a TV. And the size of this game is ridiculous. I was being distracted by Justin's cats.
I don't want to sleep the whole time.
And, oh, look at that little long boy. Look at sleeping on the bed. So, I think... Over the course of the week, I've done like over 200 side quests, maybe more. It's a lot.
Did you kill 5 rats?
I won't lie. There's a lot of that. So, what I'll say this real quick is, if you're a first time player, don't do all the side quests. You're gonna drive yourself insane. I'll get into why doing side quests in this version is a lot. They made it so much easier to do than the original or even the 3DS version, or port rather. So a lot of, and I talked about it a little bit, where like basically you have it's this thing called affinity, where you have your team affinity, where depending like during certain actions you raise affinity, it gets you bonuses. Just the short end of it, and in the there are certain areas. So far, there's the upper Colony 9, Colony 6, lower Bion or upper Bionis, and mid Bionis. And there's another one which I won't say because it's a spoiler. And sort of each has an infinity rating. They all start at 1 star. And basically, you have to talk to certain NPCs and do quests to raise the star level. The max affinity rating is 5. And except for Colony 6, I have 4-star ratings for every area. In fact, I got 1 4-star rating, Alchemoth, which is where like basically like the in terms of science fiction, like the high race lives. The people, the race that has all the technology. They're very advanced, which is one of my. I keep saying it's my favorite area in the game, but there's too many areas in this game where I'm like, oh, this is so pretty. I want to be here. Where like I raised its awareness level from 1 star to 4 stars in one sitting, like just doing quests and talking to people. So, and it's a lot, and so I recommend you don't do that as a first time player. I luckily have beaten this game already when it first came out, so the story is kind of like second to me right now. I know the story. I don't think they added anything new. Like there's the epilogue stuff, but that's after. That's separate. But in terms of the actual in-game story, I don't think anything was changed so far. Everything's beat for beat. And one thing they did to make side questing easier than in the original version is, like I said, you'll have two different types of NPCs. You'll have just NPCs that'll have like Colony 6 resident, Colony 9 resident, and then you'll run into NPCs that have actual names. And in the original version, there was no way to differentiate, at least on the mini-map, who was what. You would have to walk up to them and basically see their name. what they did in this version, which is a godsend, is that every time you look at the mini map in the top right hand corner, you'll see blue dots moving. Those blue dots are always going to be the NPCs that have names that have significance, or not significance, but rather that you used to want to talk to create affinity. And then you can go into the infinity menu and see their times, like when they're active, because certain people are only active in the day, certain people are only active in the night. So, like, and you want to talk to them after certain events because then new stuff will open. And it's just very rewarding because the whole point is like building a community, building these people together, bringing the people of Bionis, this giant thing you're on, and bring them together to fight against the threat. And it's all embodied in this place called Colony 6, which is when you first see it, it is like destroyed. It's gone. Like there's nothing there. Like first the gates are closed, then after you do a certain story progression, the gates open and it's just like dirt. There's like a mini place where the earth has been pushed in. There's just water building up. It's gone. There's no colony there. And basically it's your job. You don't have to do this because I didn't do this at all in my first playthrough. But you can help rebuild the colony by finding specific items. And sometimes these items can be very obscure to find. And the reason why you want to build affinity also with not area affinity is because the higher your area affinity is, you can trade things. So it's just an example. Certain in Colony 6 items will require you to have a certain thing. Sometimes you can get lucky and find that in the wild, while you're exploring. Other times, it's like if you go look on the Wikipedia, it's a stupid drop rate, either from a monster drop or the little blue orbs that are in the wild. And so sometimes the game will just say, well, just trade. And you have to be a certain star level, whether it's 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 2/3, stuff like that. Unfortunately, you can't tell if your star rating is like a third or a half or anything. It's just pretty much all full stars if it lets you know where you're at. And it makes it much easier to get those harder to get items in trading, but you also get exclusive weapons, you get exclusive armor, exclusive gems. It's very helpful to do. But again, I don't recommend it for a new player. I'm kind of over leveled in a way. Like fights are kind of like they're not they're the fun thing about it is that like while like individual counters again like smaller monsters, they're nothing. But the fun part is running into unique monsters, and I get to hear the badass theme again is fighting those guys. Especially when you get a quest that says go kill this specific monster. Like that's always great because there was one point where you do a quest and you're trying to find like this enter this tomb and you open the door and there's just this big ass dude just sitting there on this tombstone, on this tomb, and you fight him, and like I was only like 3 levels higher than me, and he nearly kicked my ass. But then I rearranged my party, I put the appropriate gems on characters, and I beat him. I barely beat him. So levels don't necessarily mean much as your affinity does, and the proper gem load that you have, and stuff like that. That's what matters more. Like I just love playing this game. Like that to me is a testament to the true strength of a JRPG. Like, and not to say that you can't just love an RPG for its story. Lord knows that's not true. But I think at least for me to consider like, if I was like some people could get bored doing what I did, right, and still continue to do. I'm 60 hours in. I'm barely like at the halfway point. Not even at the halfway point. I think 60 hours, and I'm probably gonna at least get over 150, 200 hours at the rate I'm going. And like I used to consider Chrono Trigger like the number one, but this definitive edition is like making it a case to be like 1A, 1B. Like it's like and the first time I played it, like I was like, well, that was really good just for its story. Now I'm appreciating it for the story plus this other level, which is great. And it's amazing for it. And yeah, I love this game. Like, and this is everything. Like, I tweeted this out, and I'm surprised nobody got mad at me. But like, this is like for all the Final Fantasy fans who bitched for years of like, oh, they're ruining it. What happened to the spirit of what we had? And well, here it is, right here, fuckers. It's right here. It is right here. What you want. Granted, it may not be turn based, but you'll adjust. I adjusted. Okay. Like it's everything's great about this game. Well, not true, but the amount of highs overcome the lows. Like, I think the only thing I can complain about, and even then it's not a complaint because I thought about it, like, well, that would make the game too easy, is certain monsters will only appear like during certain weather conditions, whether it be thunderstorming, like fog or stuff like that. Certain items only appear, and there's no real indicator. You can't control it. It's random, and you basically just have to move the clock forward to change weather and hope you get it. And that's more of a time waste than anything else. But even then, it's whatever. That's such a minor thing. I wish there was like a weather indicator, like, okay, this weather's coming up now. That would have been nice, but I can't complain because, like, in addition to making NPCs seem better, in the old Xenoblade game, in the first one, I think you basically had an indicator of where things were, and you kind of had to just follow that. Here, it just pretty much gives you a blue line and tells you, and you look on your world map, if it's not on the first level, it's probably on the second level or whichever level you're on, and you just follow that line. Like, it makes finding everything so much easier. Now, just because you can find it doesn't mean there won't be like a high level monster at the end. That's your problem. That's between you and God at that point. But yeah, the amount of quality of life changes to this game, which I know some people are not a fan of the character art style, but I love it. But the amount of changes they made, plus just how good the original game is on its own, like it's easily like this. Like, is it weird to say this might be my game of the year, even though this game technically came out in 2010, but it has new content? I don't know. It's weird. This is
according
weird.
to Thomas. It's weird to make a remake a game of the year.
Yeah.
I'll never let you forget that.
It is weird though.
I mean, but this has new content, so I don't know.
So is the content the only thing that's like the game of the year quality of that, or?
It's everything. Quality of life changes and everything, man. Like. Because
then I could just say the new Destiny drop is the game of the year. Like,
I mean, you could. I'm not stopping you.
That's dumb. That's stupid.
I mean, well, if anything, Xenoblade definitely goes on my rare list of the perfect game. Where again, flaw. It doesn't mean to. This is so stupid, but just in case, because I know we got new people sometimes who maybe didn't mean me hear you say this. But I don't consider a perfect game a game without flaws. I consider a perfect game a game that I can't stop playing, and I cannot stop playing this game. Whether it's at work, on my way to work, after we get off here, right before I go to sleep on weekdays, like I just want to keep playing. I just want to keep playing this game, and I want to just stay in this world. It could have to do with the fact that our world right now is a shit show, and even though the world of Bionis isn't exactly perfect, it's definitely more idealistic than what we're living in right now. So maybe that plays into it a bit. But I just love playing this game. That's sad. Yeah. What's sad? The fact that I just want to be in this game world all the time?
No, the fact that war-torn world is better than ours.
Well, yeah, but also because like the races, while there are differences and they kind of like they don't like each other, eventually they all come together. Spoilers, sorry. So like, by the way, like, and I'll say this is my last note. If you love Lord of the Rings, I think you'll like this game because there's a lot of thematics that are similar to it. There's a lot of thematics. Minus there's no Gollum character. Well, Ricky doesn't count. But yeah, no, that's enough talking about me. I will do my I'm not promising anything, but I will do my absolute best to not talk about Xenoblade next week because I know I don't want to talk about it to death. I could. But I'm gonna try to play something different next week just to break the monotony. But I hold no promises to anybody to play a game that I love. But that's it. Yeah, hey, I'm done.
Go off, man. Go off.
I do want to play that Pokemon. Why did it have to release now? Like why? Like why? There's so much shit out. I hate this. Huh? Smash is getting a fucking character next week.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid. I'm still
I mean,
trying
it's
to
an
learn the
ARMS character.
RoboCop
No
moves.
one cares.
I care. I like the ARMS. I'm hoping it's Min Min.
You're the one person.
It's
I
probably
know.
Min Min.
I bought the game at launch. I played it longer than anybody did, and I stopped playing because I couldn't get any matches. But whatever. Netcode
I
was
played
better
that
than
ARMS
Smash.
Invitational.
Sorry.
I was like, nope, I'm good. That's enough.
It's definitely different, but yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't become the next Splatoon. But yeah, no more talking for me. I'm done. I am done. I'm really feeling it, guys.
All right.
Feeling what?
It's a thing from the game.
No one
It's
knows.
a thing. Yes, they do. It's more popular than it's ever been. By the way, go to my Twitter because I posted some like amazing screenshots and videos from my playthrough of Valak on Valak Mountain, which is one of my favorite areas in the game. I say that every time. Sorry.
All right. So I okay.
That's my contribution.
I've been playing that game that
Destiny.
came out recently.
Destiny.
Yeah, Destiny. There's a new season. Season of Arrivals. There's a new public event, a new dungeon. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, all that is true.
Yeah.
You're not technically kidding.
No. Last of Us Part 2. And yeah, so I've been playing some of that, and I don't know how I feel about the character stuff and the story so far. Like, it's not as hard hitting as the first one was. Like, the first one was like first 10 minutes, bam, you're in this shit.
Well, that's what I was saying.
yeah.
It starts a little like slower than I expected,
Yeah.
but it hits different notes too, both literally and metaphorically.
Yeah, I just got to the first part where Joel meets those other people, and so like maybe that's the start of it. But so far, it's just been kind of like, you know, it's kind of like Walking Dead when it's like in the dull moments of the season where like not a whole lot's happening. But like the jump scares and stuff, and the actual like clickers and other like runners and the zombie people has been pretty good. I feel like this is more scary than the first game was.
Yeah, because it hits sooner.
Yeah.
Like the first one, you go a while before you see any of the clickers or anything.
Yeah.
This one, it's like you already know that stuff is out there. So ironically, it's kind of the opposite, where it's a while before you see any people, bad people.
And and I feel like the level designs are a lot easier in this one than they were in the first one too. So far, like the layouts and everything. The stealth is still in there. It's still like fun to do. Like listen for enemies and then sneak around them and then stealth kill them. I barely ever use a gun in this game. I'm always at max ammo. I've only used the gun once, and that was because I thought I killed everything, so I ended up running around this area. And a zombie came out of the room that I didn't check, and he started running at me. I was like, "Oh shit!" And it's kind of like in The Walking Dead, something like that. You think you're safe, and then zombie just comes out of nowhere.
It's true.
But yeah, like I don't know. I keep thinking about The Walking Dead when I'm playing this game. I feel like they took a lot of like,
which is
from
odd because like The Walking Dead has gone like so down in terms of its relevance since this game.
Is everything okay over there?
Something fell.
Everything just went silent because a cup fell in the bathroom.
Okay. Good.
That's
Good to know.
that's the world we live in, I guess.
Yep.
No, I think the issue with that is like it's a community more so. Like the first game really is about Joel and eventually Ellie. Like she's not there at first, but it's a lot more isolated because like everyone you do meet ends up dying, except Joel and Ellie. So and Tommy, I guess. So like it's very isolated, whereas this one, like right off the bat, pretty much you see this community that they've built and they've been surviving for years, and like they go on patrols, and like it's naturally going to feel different. It's going to hit different beats.
Yeah,
because it's not that like that scary isolationism.
I don't know. I feel this is more isolated than the other one was, just because in the other game you started off in a city. You didn't start off in like a small town.
True.
Fun fact: you start out like a few miles outside of Austin, Texas, which is where I'm from, which freaked me the hell fucking out.
Oh yeah, that makes sense because Joel's from Austin or from Texas.
Yeah.
But like, it's a city that's on lockdown, basically. Like, that's
Oh God, really?
no,
The
I
first
like the
game.
first one.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So like, it
Okay.
inherently feels isolated because like all you see is the guards keeping everyone inside.
Yeah.
Whereas this is a fun, happy community of people that like each other.
That's
It's
funny.
still different emotionally.
Yeah. All the side characters I can't really care for. Like Tommy, he's just whatever.
I like Jesse.
Jesse's okay. He's like the best of all the
Aw.
side characters, but I don't know.
Oh, it's a dude. Never mind. Damn it.
And Dina, of course.
I don't
But-
like Dina at all.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm biased because I like the voice actor,
Okay.
but
I don't know.
Who is the voice actor?
Shannon Woodward.
That sounds familiar, but I'm gonna pretend I know who that is.
She's from. I mean, she's an actor. Like, I don't know how much voice acting she's done before now.
Oh, okay.
But she's from Westworld. I liked her in Raising Hope, which was like an old Fox comedy, I think.
I think I remember hearing that as an infomercial.
Yeah, she's in a bunch of stuff. But anyway,
Yeah, maybe I'll grow to like her. The library scene was pretty cool. I like that. I will say this though, major spoilers coming up, that you do swap characters between characters.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Which I don't know how to feel about that because I like the insight that you get, but at the same time, it's not a single person story. This is going to be more of a broader
at least
story.
3 people.
Yeah, there's going to be
Yeah.
a broader story here, which I don't know. I like the single Joel story aspect of the first game. So
It's
think-
gonna get interesting. I'll tell you that much.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I've heard like that people say that this story is kind of hit or miss, which I love it so far. I'm
I
about
don't hate it.
40% of the
it's-
way through.
yeah, I think it's pretty cool, but I'm not as engrossed as the first one. That's all.
Yeah. And that's because it's more spread out.
Yeah.
Like, it's telling more people's stories, so it's going to feel more segmented.
Yeah,
But I was going to say, I think the different playable characters is to make you sympathize. So, like, you're actually, like, taking control of the different personalities to understand where they're coming from more.
yeah. Well, Joel's a piece of shit, but anyways,
Well, yeah, that's.
that's
Yeah,
It's
good
interesting the way they
intentions.
villainized him, because I don't feel that way.
Oh, I felt that way
Wait,
at the
they
end of the
villainized
first one, man. Like, he's a piece of shit. Like,
Oh, the fact. Oh,
he
what?
killed a bunch of
Can we
innocent
spoil
people,
the ending of
like
last?
scientists at the end, and
Oh yeah. Okay, I get. Okay, we can spoil Last of Us one.
that's the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, we can spoil the first one. That's fine.
Yeah.
Just making sure people were sensitive about the air thing a couple months ago. So just checking our boundaries here.
But that's because it was a new version of an old game. This is just an old game.
Okay. Just check.
Like, anyone that cares about The Last of Us 2 has played the first one. If they don't care, they didn't play the first one. It's not going to bother them.
Sure. No, yeah, no. I mean, I haven't played it since 2014 when that DLC stuff came out. So, and even the main campaign 2013.
Yeah,
so
I've only ever played the main
refuse-
campaign, so
I just watched a story run of it, like, a few weeks ago, getting ready for the new game, because I'd never seen the ending.
I like that they go over the ending in the beginning of
Yeah.
this game.
So fucking perfect of a first. God damn.
But,
Yeah, I
like,
know.
like, what he did was, yes, the act of a villain. But, like, again, it's that idea of sympathizing. It's like, you see his side of things, and so, like, you can decide whether you agree with him or not. Just like, they have multiple playable characters, and you see the things they do, so you can decide if you agree with their decisions. You don't get any choice in the matter, but at least you get to actually take their, like, mindset, and you are forced to play it so you understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
And so it's like, not everyone's going to think of him as a villain. I don't think he's the hero of the story, but I don't think he's a bad guy.
The Last of Us. I can't speak for the
He's
second one
selfish.
because I've only. Yeah, the Last of Us. At least the first one was a whole world of gray.
Yeah.
There was no, cause just because of the state of the world. Like, you did what you had, you do what you have to do to survive, and at the time, Joel made the decision that he thought was right, because he was acting like he was in protective dad mode at that point.
Right. I wouldn't want Ellie to die.
Yeah.
Who cares about those other people? They're the worst.
I'd rather have a cure.
I mean, think about it. Everyone that he had run into at that point was terrible. Why would he want to save them? That's my piece. I don't think he's...
No, I get you.
I don't think he's good or bad. I think he lives in the gray area, but I don't understand the idea of him being the villain, specifically.
I just think he's a... I'm not saying he's a villain or not, I'm just saying he's a selfish piece of shit, that's all. Yeah, he denied the world a cure for a deadly disease that...
The chance at a cure.
Yeah, chance is better than no chance.
Yeah, but there should be a way to get the cure without killing her.
I'd rather have a chance to have a cure.
He was trying to find a way to give her a choice. Like I mean, he should have told her. Yeah, that makes him kind of a dick. But like, he was putting off the decision, so in the future there'd be a way to get the cure without killing her.
He also told her that her like immunity means nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's where he's a dick. Yeah, it's like the fact that he didn't tell. He lied to her.
He's an asshole.
Yeah.
Again,
he lives in a gray area, but I don't think he's the villain.
Yeah, I mean, I just saw him as a dad.
Oh yeah.
Who made a wrong decision, and now he feels like I need to save my kid, even though Ellie's not his kid. He basically became his daughter.
Doesn't mean he had to kill all those
throughout the course.
Scientists and shit.
No, but like
they were going to kill him.
Parent wouldn't.
They were defending themselves with a freaking scalpel, man.
No, but I'm
Scalpel's
saying
hurt.
What parent wouldn't, like, they're gonna hurt if I know my dad, you know, I'm 32 years old and he's 50. If some dudes were trying to kill me, or like my life was on the line, and whether or not they're innocent of that or whatever, he would do everything in his power to make sure I'm safe, and that's any kind of parent, whether they be father and mother or whatever. I
just can't forgive. Forgive him for killing people that had like no. They weren't going to hurt him. There was no physical way that those scientists could have hurt him.
He was in distress.
He
saw his like daughter figure.
I don't care. He's
a
criminal,
table,
and he needs to be locked up into the jails.
We've had this conversation before in relation to the Outer Worlds, and they're eating like the things made from. Ben's playing that now. I don't want to go back into it.
Yeah,
but you know what I'm talking about.
But we said it already on the show.
Yeah, but he forgot.
I don't remember. That was a year ago.
The point is, you have a very different definition of what is evil compared to me. Because I see, and I'm not saying you're wrong for that.
I'm not saying it's evil either. I'm just saying he's like an asshole and a piece of shit.
A dick.
Fair. But I see like the situation. You know, like that world is not our world. You have to come at things. You see a
tan man from New Jersey?
So, for one, it's the future. Two, it's a dystopia. We'll get there. Don't worry. You'll understand eventually.
Yeah, the fact that we're closer to that now more than ever, like, I'm more stagnant on my position about this.
Yeah, but you're also not a parent. I mean, I'm not either. Yeah. But, like, it's again, that idea of sympathy. So it's like, if you can come at it from their angle, it's one thing. If you can't, you wouldn't understand. And I'm not saying he's right. But I'm just saying it's something that you might not fully understand. I don't fully understand it either. I'm just, like, I'm accepting that that's what happened. And that he's not inherently a bad guy for wanting to save someone close to him.
Alright. I just want to say, like, my view of him from the first game going into this one, it's just hard to, like, be with him and like sympathize with him about his position.
No, I feel you.
It's just really hard.
I just saw. Yeah,
I think they do a good job at humanizing him.
We'll see.
Like throughout the first game and into this one,
because I'm only 3 or 4 hours in. So
yeah,
we'll see. But
I mean, the effects of the first game were definitely felt.
Yeah.
Like they don't make him out to be a saint, and they shouldn't. That's all I'll say.
Okay. So I've also been playing Ratchet and Clank, the movie, the game, or it's just called Ratchet and Clank on PS4.
Yeah, it's a reboot of the first game, basically.
And the framing devices is that in their world, they made a game based on Ratchet and Clank, and I can't remember what the guy's name is. The big muscly superhero. Quark. Based off their tales, and then they also made a movie, and then Quark is now...
Wow, that's really fucking meta.
Yeah, and then now Quark is telling the inmates the real story of what happened.
Which frames him as the hero, of course.
Yeah. But you're still playing as Ratchet and Clank, and you're still going through all those worlds and levels and stuff, and it's a lot of fun. I'm having a lot more fun playing this version of the first one than the original version. And
the original game's trash.
It's tough to go back to.
I never played that one. I guess I started with the second one on
the first one is just hard to go back to, man. It's just hard.
It's Mega Man syndrome for sure. Like, the first game has nostalgia, but it's not good. A lot of the Ratchet and Clank, like, things, like the tropes, came from the second game on.
I remember liking it. I played the PS3, up-res and stuff.
Yeah,
but
that's when I first played
I remember,
it.
I remember when it came time to backtrack, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Come on. I don't want to do this.
Yeah. So going through the remake now, it's really cool. Is like seeing all these old levels like brought back to life and like updated. I'm having a lot more fun with the guns. Like, they feel good to shoot now. Like, the flamethrower feels pretty good now. Like, I remember back then the flamethrower was not great, and I didn't want to ever use it. But now I'm using it constantly, so I can get more materials, because there's like upgrades for these guns. Like, you can get certain materials by using them. It's really cool. Yeah, I'm hopefully gonna play this game until I hit credits, because I'm having a blast playing it.
It's really fun.
Yeah. And seeing that Ratchet and Clank trailer from the PlayStation 5 event got me in the mood for it. Are you okay then?
What? Huh? What?
I really hope we get a Miles Morales bundle. Yeah. But I know I'm going to buy a PS5, Spider-Man, and Ratchet and Clank, like, as close to launch as they all come out. I'm so weak.
And then also...
That's funny that you...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No.
You're just going to trash me.
Okay. I'm irrelevant, yeah.
Okay. And then also I played some Control. I went back and I played some of the DLC that came out a while ago. And
the Alan Wake DLC?
No, not the Alan Wake. I think it's the Foundation one.
Oh. The first one?
Yeah, the DLC one. 2's not out yet, so... yeah, it's a lot of fun going back into that world. There's a jukebox now, like, that you have to put tokens into, and you have to, like, find out I don't know if this is part of the DLC or, like, the post-game stuff, because there's a little bit of a confusion there. But I'll talk about the jukebox, and then I'll talk about the Foundation area. So the jukebox, you can see it, like, earlier on in the game. You're like, well, what the hell is that? How do I get into that? So it's like a sub-world that you go into once you put a quarter in. Like, there's only one track in there that plays, and it sucks you in. And then so the story for that is that you're supposed to go in there and find out what happened to the team that went in there and, like, investigate that. But you only have so much time to be in there, because it's a jukebox that plays music. And so I went in there, came back out, and there's just, like, a bunch of like tokens, like jukebox tokens that you can find throughout the world now. So you can, like, stack up on those and then go in. But the other part of the story is apparently, like, the altered world or whatever is coming into the real world, and it's, like, threatening to, like, it's basically, two different worlds coming together, causing chaos.
That's some science fiction bullshit that I fucking love.
Yeah, it's really good. There's also new powers to be used. Like, there's all these, like, different crystals that pop up now that act like roadblocks that I got the power to, like, destroy them with my gun, so I can just blast through them. It's pretty cool. Just, like, more exploration and, like, the Metroidvania kind of style of that game.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm just having a blast going back into Control and playing it, because it's a good playing game. That's it.
Maybe it'll come in a watered down version of the Switch at some point.
Dude.
No, it won't. I've seen that game. No, I've seen that game.
Yeah, it can barely run on consoles,
Let's
man.
Player.
Yeah, you could run it on your PC, maybe on low.
No, I doubt that.
Yeah,
Probably not.
I will say though,
It's a surprisingly high-end game.
Yeah, I am hitting 70 frames on that though, so I'm pretty happy about it.
Nice.
Big old PC
That's an odd
flex.
number, but nice. Can you like, why not just go one down and just go 69 and just go nice every time you see it?
Oh man, I need to have a software that does that.
It wouldn't be a stable 69 though. It'd be like
That's because you're good. I wouldn't expect it to be a stable 69. You're all rocking and shit right there. Like
that's got to be the video, the episode title.
Rockin',
Stable 69.
Stable 69. I was thinking Rockin' 69, but that's good too.
Yeah, either one.
For some reason, I think Rocking 69 might be a song to a 70s music group or something.
Yeah, there's singing.
I think there's a one-hit wonder from someone in 69, like 1969.
Yeah, it's a song about the year 1969, but it's not. If you know what I mean.
It's very suggestive.
Yeah. Like Hotel California, yeah. Mm-hmm. Love that song.
All right, so let's head on into the news. This week we have some rockin' news. Let's just start off with the EA stuff. So,
sure.
Big announcement. Skate 4 is real.
The meme is no longer a meme.
I guarantee this only happened. Like, the Tony Hawk thing got revealed, and they called these guys up, and they're like, hey, you need to make Skate. And that's why there's no footage or anything, because, like, they just started.
Yeah, so, Skate 4 is real. Didn't see the game. That's literally all we know, is that these guys said, we're making it. That's it.
And they're very happy to have jobs again.
Yay, jobs.
But, like, it's actually a really good time for skater boys and girls right now, because we got, new Tony Hawk. There's, what is it, Skater XL or whatever?
Skate
on Switch.
XL.
Yeah. There's Skatebird.
There's Sessions.
Don't want to forget about Skatebird.
Sessions is in
Sessions. And then now Skate 4. Like, we were devoid of skater games for a while.
The skate economy is booming, my friends.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is rolling.
Skateboarding kind of fell out of popularity in general in America.
That's true. And it's coming back now.
Yeah,
it is.
I hate kids. I hate kids. Sorry. Damn kids and your fucking skateboards. I understand what my dad was talking about now. I understand.
So some other things from the EA Play 2020 stream. So I'm not reading any of this stuff. Respawn's free-to-play game, Battle Royale game is coming to Switch this fall. Apex Legends.
Yeah, it is!
Yeah, this looks cool. Do I need to take over?
Yeah, sure, go ahead. I don't care about this.
Okay. Yeah, so Rocket Arena is another kind of like hero shooter type thing. It's a 3v3 action shooter. Each hero has their own special abilities, that old chestnut. But everything is rockets. So there's, you don't switch out guns or anything, just everyone has different variations of rocket abilities. And like they all have like a dash and a rocket boost. And it looks very like high octane, cool, like rockets only mode in most shooters. And it's very kind of cartoony and like stylized. I like the almost like Legend of the Hidden Temple style levels that you play on. It looks like the levels themselves like actually like are animated and take part in the battle with you. Like you could use like the environmental objects and stuff to your advantage. It looks very arcadey and fun. And it's going to be crossplay on every platform, which is awesome. EA is getting big into the crossplay, and I respect it a lot. But yeah, it's basically Overwatch with rockets, let's be honest. Did you read any of these?
No.
Gotta get that esports in there.
Apex Legends has a new season coming that's like treasure focused. I don't know that much about Apex Legends. I didn't totally understand it. But
it has the deepest lore.
There's a new mode. It looks kind of cool. You can get like a bunch of new stuff in it. And you have like a new item that's a mobile respawn center that each person has one of, and they can drop wherever, whenever, to bring a party member back. But there's no like actual respawn zones on the map anymore in this mode. And then they also announced that it is coming to Switch again with crossplay across all platforms this fall.
You guys want to play Apex Legends when it comes out for Switch?
No.
I mean, I'd be up for it. Like, I liked the game. I just had other stuff to play and never got back to it.
And I was never really that interested.
Oh, I enjoyed it. Like, as far as battle royales go, I think it's like one of the better ones.
I'll carry both of you. It's okay.
But yeah, we can check it
That
out.
sounds good.
Then they announced
die in the first shoot.
They announced a bunch of their wow.
You can tell he doesn't play many.
Hey, where'd Ben? Where'd Ben go? I respawned. I died.
I died at the first shoot, guys. I'm sorry.
At least,
and we never respawn him because we don't trust him.
At least Lo isn't around to team kill him, so you'll never get to experience that.
Wait, okay, you have to tell me about that later. I don't remember this.
Oh, he's the master of friendly fire.
Yeah.
His fire is that where it started? Or was that PlayerUnknown's?
That's funny.
It was PUBG.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
But it continued
That's
into
funny.
Apex Legends, yeah.
It did.
Oh, that's funny.
And he kind of leaned into it, too. He was a little evil for a little while there. Because it's like, I think Apex Legends has like an auto heal or something. So he would shoot you, like when it was all safe, knowing that you could, heal it back. Anyway, they also announced that a bunch of the EA games. He's probably watching this right now, which is funny. A bunch of the EA games are coming to Steam. Like I think Apex Legends was one of them. Sims 4, Rocket Arena when it comes out will be on Steam. There are a few others, but they're not listed here. I don't remember what they are. Like a lot of the back catalog, basically from EA, is going to Steam. There was a few that were already announced, like Need for Speed. But I think they all like have third-party logins, so you still have to have an Origin account. You just sign in, like to the game, and then it works through Steam from then on.
It's the Ubisoft shit.
Yeah. So all they want is your data. They don't care how you play.
So it's another service email I have to sign up for, which means another attempt of somebody taking my information. Thanks, assholes.
But they're probably getting rid of the launcher, is what I guess.
Okay.
They just want your data through the account, and then you can play on Steam.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think the big news, we'll get to Star Wars in a little bit, but I think the big news was the EA Originals, because they are consistently solid games. Me and Thomas have played A Way Out. There's also like Unravel. Was that a EA? Was that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they announced 3 new titles, which again, I don't know why only 2 of them are on here. This article's trash. But whatever.
Beat, why are you trash?
Aww.
Good old boy, Joseph Ferris.
Oh, this is the fuck the Oscars guy, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, they had a nice reel leading into all of these studios. And his talked about how outlandish he is. But I didn't realize he's actually like a film director. Like he's made movies.
Yeah.
And like he kind of takes that idea into his games, which is why A Way Out is very like cinematic and stuff like that. But anyway, he talked about how he loves to make games that like aren't just the same gameplay mechanic over and over again. Like he wants his games to feel like movies. So he's trying to find like interesting gameplay mechanics to tell the narrative with. So he introduced their Hazelight's new game called It Takes Two, which is another kind of asynchronous 2-player game where you basically play the dolls of a married couple getting divorced.
That sounds depressing as fuck.
So the daughter of a couple getting divorced creates these 2 dolls of her parents in order to help her cope with the loss. Which I find fascinating because I'm a child of 2-time divorce.
Yeah, and I don't want to touch this.
Yeah. And so, like, you play as these two characters that like she's created in these kind of like big worlds. So it's like, you know, you might be in like a living room, but it looks like a big fantasy world based around the living room because like you're playing with toys. So it's got kind of like a Toy Story feel to it, but with his interesting type of asynchronous gameplay that changes throughout the game. Like whatever you have to do changes. There wasn't a lot of information, but the trailer looked great. It's a very pretty game. I like the style. Yeah, it's interesting. And then another one they showed off was, I forget the studio, Zoink. And this is a Tim Burton type, like graphically looking game called Lost in Random, which I wasn't sold on, like from the aesthetic, because I'm not a big fan of that Tim Burton style. But it's a really quirky world. Like again, graphically it looks great. I feel like these are all next gen games, and the whole gimmick of it is it's a world that's very like strict and adheres to its principles and everything, and you are equipped with this like sentient die. Sorry, I was gonna say dice, but the singular is die. That goes around with you, and you're supposed to kind of use it to bring in elements of random to this very strict world. And it looks like it plays kind of like just a adventure platformer, like a Zelda game almost, where you use the die to like fight and then also solve puzzles and platforming challenges and things like that. But there's very little information. A lot of it was concept art and stuff like that. But it also looks really cool. The third one I will have to find real quick because I don't know why it's not listed here.
You were right about the Tim Burton. That is very much a Tim Burton art style.
Right. Oh, no, I guess the third one was Rocket Arena. Okay.
Yeah, even like the dude, like in that first shot, like you see the dude with the top hat, like that's the mayor from Halloween.
Yeah.
From Night Before Christmas. It's legit him.
It's a very unique style for a game. It just doesn't really sell me. But the gameplay, I think, looks really cool. Yeah, okay, so the third one is Rocket Arena. We already talked about it. I didn't realize that was one of the EA originals. And then they did a quick kind of highlight reel of like the EA Sports titles and stuff like that. No one really cares. And then they did a surprisingly deep dive of the Star Wars Squadrons game that I think, talked about last week as them announcing. And it looks cool. Like, it looks like the definitive Star Wars dogfight game.
Yeah, it does.
I wasn't interested before the announcement or anything. Like, it's cool that we're getting more Star Wars games, but I never really got into the Rogue Squadron games or anything like that. I'm not a huge fan of just like the cockpit, like taking up most of your view and doing all the technical controls and stuff like that. But then they said that the entire game can be played in VR. And I was like, oh, now I'm kind of interested.
Nice.
Because I've been trying...
That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
That's like the dream.
Right. Like, I've been trying to find a cool, like, VR racing game. Because, like, the Oculus has, like, the cool touch controllers that, like, can turn and stuff like that.
Sorry.
What?
Do you have Wipeout as an option for you, or no?
I don't know.
Wipeout Omega
I have
collection?
the Oculus Link. I'll have to check.
See if the Wipeout Omega collection is available for you. Because I played that on PlayStation VR, and I think it's pretty cool.
Okay. Because I got Project Cars 2. Because that has VR capability. But
Okay. Yeah.
it didn't, like, I had to use a controller.
Yeah. Well,
So, like, you can see around you,
Yeah.
but you can't actually, like, use a steering wheel or anything,
Okay.
like, with the controls. So, anyway, I thought this would be really cool in VR. So, I want to see some examples first. But, like, the game itself looks great. I mean, they basically say that, like, from beginner to expert, like, you can make it as technical as you want as far as, like, how you divert power to different systems and all that
sounds cool.
stuff. And, like, being able to do, like, quick turns in the air and, like, it's going to feel like you are actually flying a spaceship.
Yeah.
But knowing that you can do it in VR, like, if they get the controls right with the Oculus controls, like, I want to actually be able to like have 2 sticks, like each hand.
He wants
and
Battalion
be able to like
in VR.
move,
That's what he wants.
basically. And then I'd probably play it, like if it sells me on that. But just on PC, I don't really care.
My only issue with this is I like just from a general looking at it, I feel like the cockpit, the window is like that's a lot. Like where you're not looking outside of the cockpit, you're more looking at the cockpit interior takes up a lot of the main screen.
And that's what I don't
know how
like.
to feel about that.
Yeah. It's like 50% of your screen is cockpit.
Yeah.
That is a
like
huge cockpit in your face if you
That's too much cockpit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which in VR that might be cool because that's how it would look.
Yeah.
Where like if you're from like a non VR like me person who would probably throw up at the idea of being in a dogfight, but
right, like being this far away from your PC monitor and having it be like 50% cockpit. I don't want that. But in VR, like being surrounded by cockpit,
fucking TIE fighter comes out.
That could be pretty hot. I mean, like cool.
Right. Oh, you can customize your guys. You can customize your guy. You can customize the actual ship. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's. I was gonna get more into that stuff. Like, there's actually a story mode, which is pretty cool. There's different missions. Like, the game kind of has you doing, like, take out the minions, take out the bomber ships, and then take out like the main ship. It's kind of the main mode. But the story mode will have you doing all different kinds of things. I feel like it's going to be mostly like almost a tutorial for the multiplayer, but what's cool is you take a rebel fighter and an imperial. I think I got that right. The good guys and bad guys. The story covers both sides. So like different missions will have you, on the good side or the bad side, and that's kind of neat, like from a storytelling standpoint, and. Also in multiplayer, like your ships, you can choose between the 2 different types. So there's 8 total. Yeah, 8 total ships. I assume there'll probably be more like in DLC later, but there's basically 4 types of ships, and then 1 on each side essentially. So like you might have the TIE fighter and the X-wing, and then like the TIE bomber and the
Y-wing.
Okay, thank you. Y-wing.
I know my ships.
Fair enough. It lists them all. I just don't want to watch the trailer right now while I'm going over this.
A-wing and TIE interceptor.
Thank you. What's the last one?
V-wing and shove it up your ass. Okay. There you go. That's a real ship. It's a real ship. It's new. It's canon.
Did you already say interceptor?
I said TIE interceptor. Yeah.
It's actually TIE Reaper.
That's what looks like a bat.
Yeah.
U-wing. That's not a wait. Hold on. Patrick Ewing is in this game. Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. The
awesome.
The last is like the support class, and it's the TIE Reaper on one side and the U-wing on the other side.
The U-wing is a new thing. Is that because I know X-wing, Y-wing, B-wing, which doesn't get enough love.
It doesn't.
And the A-wing. There's also a V-wing that was in the Rogue Squadron games, but that thing sucked. U-wing.
Yeah, then there's the TIE Interceptor and the A-wing. You're right about that.
Of course I am.
And then I found them while you were talking, so I figured I'd show them off real quick. And then the TIE Reaper and no, that's the third. Okay. TIE Reaper and U-wing. What's the last one then?
TIE Bomber, TIE Y-wing? X-wing.
Oh, I think I skipped the TIE Bomber.
Okay.
No, yeah, TIE Bomber and Y-wing. There it is.
Yeah, because those are the bomber classes, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, like...
Y-wing sucks! Sorry.
It's a 5v5 spaceship game. So, like, your squadron is made up of any of those combination of 4 ships. Because the 5v5, obviously, is the Empire versus the Imperials. I think that's right.
Rebel Alliance.
That's it. Are the Imperials the same as the Empire?
Yes, they are, buddy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are.
Fair enough. I feel ashamed.
We're rebels. What should we name ourselves? Imperialist. Genius. They'll never know.
I'm ashamed of my Star Wars knowledge.
It's fine.
There's so much stuff, though.
This is getting into the story. I don't know where else
Yeah.
you were going with it, but they also have like fleet battles, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Ship to ship, like
big
Super
ships.
Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
Oh! Sorry.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff here.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
It's just the gameplay itself is not up my alley. But I love that they're making it.
We've been waiting for a good spaceship combat game, and I hope to God this is it.
It's true.
It's also not a full...
They did say that, like, you know, EA is trying to turn themselves around. They said that it's going to be a $40 game with no microtransactions.
Whoa.
I love that they have to specify that. It makes
Yeah.
me giggle every time.
So, like, it's a budget title, which kind of worries me, but I think that's because there's not much of the story. Like I said, I think that's just more
It's
of a
probably going to be
tutorial.
more of a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think they're going to do, like, season pass type DLC stuff with new ships and customizables
That'd
and
be
stuff.
cool.
Because, like,
Esports
the way
that
you
shit.
can customize your ships is insane. Like, there's so many things to, like, switch out the
Which is-
parts and colors and all that.
Yeah, that's odd considering especially for like the Empire, because like that's very much why they don't customize shit.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Like I don't know, maybe like elite classes. I wonder if in a DLC you get to play as Vader's ship from A New Hope. Oh, that would be badass. Oh,
That's probably the kind of thing
the-
they would do is introduce, like, specific character ships.
like you get to play as like the Millennium Falcon or Poe Dameron's X-wing or some stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
Because Poe
Probably.
Dameron has a badass X-wing,
Yeah, he did.
orange and black.
Yeah.
That's probably just customizable in the game already. But anyway,
Yeah.
aside from that, like I said, they spent a lot of time on Star Wars. It was like a 50-minute thing, and I think it was like 25 minutes on Star Wars. But they did a quick little sizzle reel of like next-gen projects at the end, and they definitely showed off Dragon Age 4. It was like just a few like almost basically animated stills, but the locations, I didn't notice them. I thought it was cool looking, but I didn't know what they were. But everyone analyzed them as like things straight out of Dragon Age lore. And then there was also a new Battlefield game, which was mostly like not animatics, wireframe stuff. Is it animatics? Like showing big battlefields and then some face animation tech. But it looked good. And then the last one was a new game from EA Motive that looks like some kind of new, like probably competitive shooter using a gravity gun. So sure. Like, it seems like they have a lot more stuff that's roughly in development than they have stuff actually coming out. But whatever. This was a pretty basic showing for EA Play this year. A lot of things out on the horizon without much to show.
Horizon Zero Dawn. There's no segue, I'm sorry.
No. Oh, also Star Wars Squadrons
this-
is coming out in October. Am I taking
Yeah.
over, like, actually?
Yes.
Alright, fine. So, we already have Skate 4. We talked about that one. Just because I said that. Speaking of 4s, Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, has been leaked.
I hope that's a placeholder title.
I
kind of like it.
I hope that's the real title.
I mean, this is
hate
real
it.
box art, so I'd assume
Hate
that's
it
the real title.
so much.
It's kind of great.
Because it's probably going to be
The
about time
box-
travel, and then it's also, like, it's a very late sequel, so it works.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just not a fan. I'm just not a fan. Sorry. Hope to
Well,
get-
whatever. It's not for you. That's what they say, right?
That's-
So, like, at first I thought this was one of those, like, fake leak things, but also, there's been some, stuff being sent out to different news outlets, kind of teasing something related to Crash Bandicoot.
It's like a puzzle thing or something?
Yeah, this mentioned a 200-piece puzzle with that's like spelled out the message, a little something to help pass the time, and had one of the masks seen on this
Oh my
leaked
God.
cover.
Not time puns. No.
So, like, the fact that it was also, like, you know, the cover was leaked and stuff, it's definitely real. Normally we wouldn't cover this kind of thing, but... So yeah, it's kind of big news. They're weirdly current-gen games, which makes me think they're coming out, like, this fall, with some, forward compatibility type stuff. The Xbox One version specifically has, like, on the box art, it has Xbox One and Xbox Series X on it, with, like, enhanced for Series X text on it.
No Switch version.
I can see it being ported. But it's being developed by Tours for Bob, in conjunction with Activision, which they worked on the Spyro Reignited trilogy. Weirdly, I'm trying to find it. The ones that worked on Insane trilogy were
Vicarious Visions.
Thank you. I assume they probably have something to do with this game, but like it's kind of weird that it's being made by this, the Spyro remake people.
Yeah, considering how well they remade those 3 games.
Yeah.
And implemented those 2 hidden levels, those 2 new levels.
Yeah. Because everyone knows the Spyro remakes were not as polished as the Crash remakes were.
That's because Spyro sucks in general.
Rude.
I mean, you can't. I mean, like when your foundation is just terrible, you can't.
Your foundation is terrible.
So much with it. I know I am. That's why my knees hurt.
Well, now it's real. Speaking of terrible foundations, Cyberpunk 2077 was delayed again.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I understand this. A lot of things are being.
No,
delayed.
I was just eating a crunch bar. What are you
with the
talking
world.
about?
But this is a game that's already been delayed like 5 times, so it just kind of sucks to have to announce another delay. I feel bad for them.
I mean, yeah.
But
I
also,
read that The Witcher 2. I was like, I read The Witcher 2 was like delayed like a lot, like a lot. So it's just normal for them. Just want to get it right.
Yeah, that's fair. But it's been like this is almost becoming the new like Square project. Like hopefully it ends up being good, unlike their games. But it's being delayed from September 17th to November 19th, which I see as a positive because unless Avengers is delayed again, it means I won't be competing time between those 2 games.
And I won't be competing time with Destiny.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless they drop something at that point.
But there's also a lot of big stuff coming out in November. Like, it's going to be hitting right at the holiday rush. And when new consoles are coming out, probably.
I mean, you could play this, you'll probably be able to play this game on your new console.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Maybe that's why it was
I think that's probably why it's being... Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, that they pushed it back to line it up. Because they don't have anything else! Sorry.
Yeah.
They have Crash.
They do have Crash.
I mean, that's a current gen title, though.
I bought a PS5 to play Crash Bandicoot 4.
Yeah, I saw a leak, like, I wouldn't make it news or anything, but I saw a leak that the PS5 is coming out November 20th. So, like, if this hits November 19th, like, they would definitely be pushing it for launch.
For sure.
But I don't know if that's actually happening.
Well, they have said it is confirmed to work on the next-gen consoles, so... Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably takes a little bit of effort to get it to run on PS5 hardware and Xbox Series X hardware.
To be able to take advantage of them, yeah. Because anything can run. Like, it can just run in PS4 mode, basically. They're just beefed up pros at this point. But speaking of PS5, we got some more details on the Spider-Man Miles Morales game. Some basic plot details mostly. But it did say that it's set a year after the events of the first game, which isn't terribly surprising because the DLC of that at least ends in like fall. So we know that the game takes place in winter. If it was that winter, it would be like 2 months later, and he would be very green. So the fact that he's had a year to practice is better, at least. And yeah, it kicks off just before Christmas as a street war kicks off between an energy corporation and a high-tech criminal army.
Roxanne, probably Roxanne.
Oh, for sure,
maybe
Roxanne.
Osborne. Yeah, and probably Osborne, because that's the only other high-tech thing I can think of.
I assume Prowler is going to be the main villain, or at least a villain, and he is a high-tech criminal, but he could be, like, funded by Osborne.
Yeah.
Because in the comics, he gets, like, his gear, like, he steals it from Osborne, which could still be the case. But I have a feeling there's going to be a connection between them, for sure. And probably Roxanne is going to be competing with Oscorp as, like, the new monopoly in the city. But anyway, Harlem, where Miles now lives, is in the middle of that war, and he sets out to put a stop to it. So this is still, like, Marvel's New York City, but Harlem was an extremely small part of the original map. It was, like, one district. So I have a feeling they're going to, like, flesh that area out more. And, add more details to the map. Even though it's going to be the same map, it'll seem bigger because there'll be, like, more stuff to do in that area.
Yeah.
So, it's a way to save some time and stuff by using the same map, but just adding stuff to it rather than making a whole new map.
Could you go to Hell's Kitchen in Spider-Man?
Yeah. There's actually, like, a kind of a collectible type thing you could do in the game where you go to different areas, like different landmarks, and take pictures. And there was a lot of neat little Easter eggs around. So, like, one of the picture locations was the Murdoch law firm.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I should do that again with the stream version, because I didn't do it with the story play or anything. I left that stuff all undone. I didn't want to deal with it, but I do like those things. Yeah, I'll have to remember what they are. Anyway, he's, like I said, he's been training for about a year. So he's still learning, and it says along the way, Miles will discover new powers that set him apart from Peter Parker's Spider-Man, which we've seen already, but it sounds like part of the story is going to be him learning about his new abilities, which is kind of cool. They also said that Miles is being designed to feel distinct from Peter Parker. Aside from offering different powers, he also has different combat and traversal animations, which show off his lower confidence in being a superhero. So he flails around more when he swings, is kind of the main thing they point out. Which I like.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
You can actually see that in the trailer. Like, he lets go of a web swing and just kind of, like flops a little bit as he goes down. Like, trying to get his bearings again,
Oh god, don't die.
Yeah. And they also stated that, Peter is still out there. He still has more story to tell, but they want to focus this next game on Miles. So I don't know if that means, like, Peter's not in the game at all, or if it just means he's not playable and he will be a smaller part of the story. It's hard to say.
He'll make a cameo. Of course he'll make a cameo.
Yeah, I mean, like, the voiceover in that trailer, I think, was new VO. So I'm sure he'll be in it.
Yeah.
But, they said that PS5 tech will be used in ways we already knew about. Near instant loading, ray tracing, 3D audio, and
all those spider webs.
Yeah. Ray trace spider webs. Character models should look more realistic. And even the returning New York City has been updated for its PS5 debut, which is where I'm talking about. They'll probably make it bigger, add more details, more landmarks, that kind of thing. Also, it's going to be wintertime, so it'll just look different anyway.
Yeah.
This report doesn't cover the size of the game, but the general reports have kind of put it as something like Uncharted Lost Legacy. So no official confirmation, but that's been the idea. So yeah, not a lot of new information, but it was just kind of like a developer overview of the trailer we saw. And that's neat. I think the coolest part is that it does, like, I thought they were actually going to move him out of New York and, like, have it be its own thing. But I like that they're setting it in Harlem. It's going to be more cultural, kind of like, the Luke Cage syndrome. Going to have its own feel. And that he's still, like, a fresh superhero. But he's had a year. Which is why he has a suit, probably. I don't have any more transitions. I don't understand this Pokemon DLC story. Do you want to talk about that?
So, so obviously, as Justin talked about earlier, Pokemon, the expansion officially came out. Now, if you aren't aware, if you don't play Pokemon, each version you had Sword and Shield, so that means there are two different versions of the same expansion. One expansion that's specifically for Pokemon Shield, one expansion that's specifically for Pokemon Sword. So what's been happening apparently, and some people are rushing, or you have parents who just don't pay attention, that's your fault for not paying attention to your kids' interests, and they will neglect you in a few years. I know you're listening, Mom. Sorry. So what's led to this is that, like, say, I've seen reports of people owning Pokemon, either Sword or Shield, and accidentally buying the other expansion pass, but because they do not have the compatible game, the expansion pass will not work. And because of Nintendo's I had the word on my tongue and now it's gone. Anti-consumer policy. I was gonna go more like neo-lethargic, but that's not a word. Neo-lethargic, yes.
Okay, sure.
Neo-lethargic policies
on the show.
Listen, man, how do you think the English language was created, okay? Just make shit up.
That's true. Shakespeare did it. Everyone loved him.
Yeah. Nintendo's neo-lethargic policies, you cannot get a refund if you bought it. So say I own Pokemon Shield, but I accidentally click, even though you had to click multiple times to get it. I'm not defending this policy, but you have to click multiple times to make sure you have it. But again, this is probably for parents who don't know the difference.
Yeah.
But if you're like then you can't get your money back. It's gone. Your $30 are gone. You have to spend another $30 to get the other expansion, or you spend the $60 and get the other version and replay the game all over again, which you're not going to do that. So yeah, this is stupid. Nintendo should offer fucking refunds, like, at this point.
Or it should just be one DLC that you buy and it applies to your version.
Yeah, that'd be.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it shouldn't matter, and they should have programmed it to where it can detect. Because and the reason why it's two different versions in their defense is because you have specific Pokemon and you have specific character. Because not just Pokemon, specific characters that show up. So like one expansion gets one specific potential gym leader, the other one gets the other. But I don't understand why they couldn't have created something where you bought the $30 expansion and it can tell which version you have because it's already on there.
Right.
Unless you bought the second one, unless you bought two, because there are people who do that. And it can't. Maybe they could. Maybe they thought about that, and maybe that.
Then it would just prompt something. Which version do you want to apply this DLC to?
That's true.
Still a simple solution.
But that sounds easy, but that may be a lot hard. That may be a lot harder to implement in practice. Like, we say that, but who knows how difficult that would have been.
But you know what's really easy to implement? Refunds.
Yes. That's what I said. That's the number one answer, especially considering how they got raked over the coals on how certain games they were promoting certain games. Looking at Mortal Kombat 11 as showing the PS4 graphics, and then you look at the game and it's they're serviceable, but don't mislead people.
There was like 5 seconds of actual Switch footage before the game came out.
Yeah. So this is bad. Like, they really should refund people who actually, again, I'm mostly concerned for parents who don't understand the differences in the kids, although they're our age who grew up with Pokemon. Like, come on, guys, be somewhat interested in what your kid wants. But like, to any like our age who like just rush, like, dude, just chill, relax,
or you just make like an honest mistake, man. Like, that shit happens, right?
I mean, like, you have to go through multiple times. Like, you get to like,
no many people live in this world.
The money and going there. A lot.
There's going to be mistakes. I
get it. No, like I said, I'm not defending the policies, and they should be refunds.
Yeah.
But like, seriously, take your time. Like, seriously, just double check. Make sure you're buying the right one.
Make sure you drink a lot of water before you go and make your purchase.
Yes.
Do it dehydrated.
Remember your password and enable 2-step verification. But yeah, so that's it.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. That makes sense. So on good news related to Nintendo,
you don't have to do the other one if you don't want to do it.
No, I want to.
Okay.
I think this is cool. A few developers in Japan working from home created a small little free jump rope game for Switch that's available now. Anyone can go grab it, at least until September. Weirdly, I don't know why it's limited, but yeah, you hold the Joy-Con in each hand, do jump rope motions, and the cute little bunny character on screen tracks your successful jump ropes. you jump up and down, do actual jump rope stuff, and it keeps track of your daily score, just like other exercise games. I feel like they put this out as a consolation prize for all the people that can't get Ring Fit Adventure right now. But I mean, it's neat. Like, it's a free exercise game for all the people stuck at home. Like, we need more of that stuff. Why not?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, I haven't checked it out yet because I do have Ring Fit, which I just started up again. I didn't mention that one, but I got like 15 minutes in and was hurting. Maybe that's where my stomach hurts.
You don't work out often.
I know. Well, I was doing like outside work and stuff for a while, so like I was getting exercise, but
not the same, brother.
It is though. Like digging, digging is
in terms of no, it's a physical exercise, but in terms of like working like a physical like specific part of your body, it's not.
True.
If you're trust me, as somebody who fell on a girl because he decided to, hey, I'm gonna run. I'll tell this. Yeah, because I decided to do my leg workout after I hadn't done anything in a while, and then I sat down on a park, and I tried to get up, and I fell on a girl who we ended up dating afterwards, so it worked out.
Wow,
but
kind of cute.
Yeah. So if your body if you're not doing a specific activity where your body doesn't get used to it, and you go back to it, it's gonna fucking hurt. It's gonna suck. Yeah. That's right. To keep doing it, and then you change it up. Sorry, don't listen to the fat guy talk about exercise outfits from 2008.
Would you say that you fell in love?
Wow.
No, because a month later she cheated on me, so it's whatever.
And that's the news.
Yep, that's the news.
My sad romantic life, yeah.
The news about Ben and his sad romantic life.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
69.
Justin, where can people find you?
You can find me if you look for Zero Score on Twitter or YouTube or Twitch. Like I said, I'm going to be doing more Spider-Man, or I'm going to be starting Spider-Man, I should say, on Sunday at like noon. And then more Tales of Zestiria next week. Also, Spider-Man Storyplay started up again, if you're interested in the DLC story for that game.
Ben?
That's me.
Twitter.com/MarvelousHickey, where you'll probably be seeing nothing but tweets of me and my pictures from the world of Bionis, and I love this game. But I do have an announcement because I got the blessing of Thomas, and I figured it's gonna start soon. So fuck it, let's just get it out of the bag. Oh, yeah. So I love Godzilla. Everybody knows that. It's not a secret. Shock, right? Yeah. Yeah. So that's racist.
No, but it's a line.
And it's moving on. So I love Godzilla. I love everything, and I've been wanting to talk about Godzilla, but I do not want to put these guys through the torture of watching the original Muzumi because they take a certain epithet.
I already watched
Godzilla through some of them.
King Kong with you. I think I'm good for now.
Yeah. So and I'm talking so. Me and a friend of mine named Tyler, who's on our Discord.
He's in the chat
say
right
hi to
now,
him, please.
So if you want to say hi.
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Sup, Tyler? Love you, buddy. Tyler
the TV. No.
All
right.
No, he's T-Man. I call him that at work. We work together at Walmart. Anyways, so we are going to do a finite podcast. I call it finite because it's gonna end at some point. It's not gonna go on forever.
That's what
we are going to. Yeah, I know. Just explaining it for non-literate people because unfortunately this is America.
Illiterate.
I mean,
illiterate. Shut up. See, I just proved my own point.
This is an audio medium, though. There's no literacy.
That's true. No, you have to read the notes. Maybe people don't read those.
So
me and him are. It's called Atomic Shot. That's Tyler's name idea.
It's pretty good.
Like, just brilliant. Yeah, it's like it's branding, on brand, baby. My special brand, my eyes. It's called Atomic Shot, and we are going to review every single Godzilla movie from 1954 of the original Gojira all the way up to 2019's Godzilla King of the Monsters. And I will go ahead and say this now. Yes, we will be reviewing, whenever we get there, Godzilla 1998 starring, what's his name?
Matthew Broderick. The best Godzilla
yeah, we
movie.
will. No, it's not. So these aren't going to be... So just to clarify... These are not watch-alongs just because of our schedule. We're going to watch the movie, we're going to get notes, and we're going to basically... You may have heard this stuff before. I just want to talk about Godzilla with somebody, honestly. That's really the only purpose of this is existing. And if you want to hear other people talk about Godzilla, please listen. You don't have to if you don't want to, but if you want to hear some Godzilla content from us, it's great. And share your own stories with Godzilla. We'll be sharing. I know I'll be sharing my personal stories with Godzilla. A lot of these movies I haven't seen, so it'll be fun to do that. But yeah, my idea so far is to do it in seasons. So because Godzilla is broken up into 3 different eras. So season 1 will be from 1954 to 1975. So if you want to watch along with us, and before we come out, we'll let you know what the movie is, or at least I'll let Thomas know to post it on the Twitter what the movie is. So if you want to watch it before we record or before we release an episode, so you can you don't want, because we will be spoiling it and all. So yeah, Atomic Shot coming soon with Gojira 1954, the original classic. And also I am going to work on a YouTube video. Yes, I'm working on a YouTube video. I want to talk about Animal Crossing and what that game has meant to me, and how I was surprised on how much I ended up loving it, even though I resisted it for the longest time. So look for that coming soon.
Nice. Do you think the podcast will last long enough to do Godzilla versus King Kong?
I mean, yeah, that's the 3rd movie in the series, so yeah, we'll get to that early.
The new...
I mean, possibly that's like the Showa era alone is 15 movies, and we're not gonna and more than likely it'll leap into next year, and then we'll depending on when we end, because the last movie is 2019, and then it'll be we'll probably do it at some point. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. We'll have a schedule. Leave me alone.
Okay.
We'll do it. Yeah, it'll be the last Godzilla movie. Yeah, that'll be the capper.
And you can follow me on Twitter, CHG Thomas. Also, email me, thomas@charshot.com if you want to be a guest on one of my shows, Destiny, this show, or a wrestling show that we have. Rate us on iTunes, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get podcasts. And you can just follow me here, Gameplay Stuff. I stream out these shows, all my other podcasts that I do, and some Destiny stuff, and some other guest stuff. I'm going to be posting...
Best Destiny...
Yes, go ahead.
Best Destiny podcast on the planet.
Thank you.
From a person who doesn't play the damn game.
I'm also planning on putting up more Destiny stuff on my YouTube channel, which is this gameplay stuff. And is this going to be more a full playthrough of a raid or a dungeon or something? I might do guides and stuff, but that depends on if people want that or not. So... Till then, guys, enjoy your games and have a good night.